This new Lian Li case looks awesome, but wait a minute, this is not Lian Li. I know, this is NZXT. Sure looks like it. Let me just look at it a little bit closer. What's this? Montech? Which case is this? I present to you guys the Montech SKY TWO. It comes in 3 different color options and offers plenty of features and functionality for those who want maximum bang for their buck, with that sweet spot magical price of just $99 US. Looking for affordable Windows or Office keys? Look no further, I got you covered. Head over to scdkey.com, pick your Windows edition, use my discount code LE25 to get a 25% on any Windows or Office products. Once you complete your order, after a few seconds you will receive your code. In Windows, go to Settings, there should be an Activate Windows prompt at the bottom. Click that, enter your code and wait for Windows to finish activation. To check the activation status, use the command prompt with the command slmgr.vbs/xpr and you should receive a notification that the machine is permanently activated. Once again, use code LE25 at scdkey.com. So let's start first with the dimensions, so you can get the idea of the volume of this case and what you could actually do within this case. So 430 by 215 by 490 mm, standard issue medium-sized case. Front panel is made out of tempered glass with no fans mounted here, obviously, and we have the bottom mesh part similar as with the NZXT H5, but also as Lian Li Lancool cases. Moving to the side, the same pattern applies. Tempered glass panel, although this is 3mm thick glass, not the classic 4mm as with other cases. This reduces the price to a reasonable level and also makes the panel a bit lighter. It also makes it easier to break, but if you are careful with it, I see no problem with this approach. After removing the side panel, we can take a look at the goodies that it has inside. Immediately noticeable are these 2 side fans. These are the reverse fans. They are well inverted, so the front side looks like a back side of a regular fan. Basically, fins are just backwards. This contributes only to the visual aspect, so we can have the ARGB visible and yet they are still used as an intake fans. These are 120mm fans, by the way, and right above them you can notice the Montech branding. This is the only branding this case has, nothing on the front. Maybe a bit flashy, but I get it, they are making a name for themselves and the logo is actually cool. I don't mind having it there. We also have regular cable cutouts everywhere, side ones have rubber grommets, while the top and bottom ones do not. And the cool addition is the GPU cable cutout on the PSU shroud, which has rubber grommet as well. Also, there is another fan present here in the box, which can be mounted in these 2 spots on top of the perforated PSU shroud. This should benefit a little bit to the GPU being slightly better cooled, but we shall see about that. Board sizes that you can fit here are the ITX, Micro ATX and full-size ATX boards. There is, of course, a very large cutout behind the motherboard tray for easy access to the backside of the motherboard, for on-the-fly CPU cooler mounting, changing and so on. While we are on the subject, CPU cooler clearance is up to 168mm, so NHD 15 and other monstrosities can fit with room to spare in this case. In terms of GPU size, 400mm at your disposal. Fan in the back is 120mm and this is the maximum size you can fit here. Up top things are a bit different. 3 120 fans can fit here or 2 140mm fans, which means 240, 280 or 360 radiators can be used in this case. There is one major issue here. If you decide to side mount a radiator here, you will run into issues regarding GPU limits, so in that case the only option to go is with the vertical GPU mounting. There are holes available on the PSU shroud. Even though the side fan mounts are recessed inside, you will still be limited with GPU size, so just a heads up. I did mention the top side, so to get access to the fan mounts there is only one thumb screw at the back side. Unscrew it and pull the metal mesh cover. This is a solution much like the Lian Li has, and I prefer it this way without any magnetic mesh filters and such, so kudos to Montech for paying attention in class. Also cool thing here is that there are rails, which also allows you to mount the fans or radiator closer or further away from the motherboard. The I/O panel is up top on the right side. I like this design as well. we have a big power button here, followed by an LED switching button, USB 3.0 port, separate headphone and mic jacks, another USB 3.0 port and a USB-C port, which is kind of mounted in a Type A porthole. Not the prettiest solution, but at least we got the USB-C port here. So Montech SKY 3, this needs to be improved. Backside of the case, nothing out of the ordinary, the I/O shield, 120mm fan with rails, which can help if you mount a thicker radiator up top, so it gives you a little bit of the wiggle room up or down. There are the usual 7 PCIe brackets, and we can see that the PSU is mounted from the inside of the case, and that it comes with a dust filter here at the back that you can take out and clean when needed. Moving to the right side of the case, or the behind the scenes, I have to mention that all panels have captive thumb screws, which is always a welcome thing. This right panel is of course perforated for the side fans to intake air, and there is also a little magnetic dust filter present here as well. But once the panel is removed, things are busy, pretty much. First thing, bunch of cables are running across the middle of the case with Velcro straps, of course, and because of the side mounted fans, this is the only route for them, but they are neatly organized, tucked here with channel raceway as well. So organizing a bunch of cables or adding another bunch of cables here is not a problem, even though it seems like that. Zip tie points are also present in the areas where they are most needed. We have 2 SSD caddies behind the Bobo tray as well, with captive thumb screws too. In the bottom you can notice that there is an HDD hard drive cage. Here is the accessory box as well as the manual for the case, but let's focus on the hard drive cage. You can move it on the other mounting point closer to the back of the case if you want or need to. But you can also remove it completely, which will give you a bunch of space, spare space to hide all the cables here. The cage has rubber insulators for 3.5 spinning drives and can accept 2 of them and one 2.5 drive on top as well. The PSU clearance is up to 220mm with the cage in the default position and as long as the case stretches when the cage is removed. Up top there is a controller. This is an ARGB and PWM fan controller as well, so all in one. 6 fans can be connected here and then connected to the motherboard with a single cable for PWM control and a single cable for the ARGB control, and that is if you wish to use the motherboard for the RGB control, as you can use the button on the case and thus not use this cable. Building in this case is easy as with any other case. The temperatures are in check, the bottom fan adds little to no help for the GPU, but I rather keep it there as it's always better to have a lot of fresh air coming in the case, cooling that GPU. In this config here I use 3 fans for an intake and the AIO and rear fan as exhaust, so pretty much a standard config. Noise was normalized using fan curves in BIOS and temperatures are pretty much okay and nothing to worry about, even though the front is covered with glass. I also like that there are 3 color options to choose from, this blue one here, the white one and the black one as well, and they are all painted everywhere with the same color. There are no black parts anywhere inside. Everything is color matched and a single color, it's uniform, something that all manufacturers should follow. Regarding the build quality, let's say that it's built better than some more expensive cases, so once again kudos to Montech. The side and front mesh covers can be removed if needed for cleaning or if you need to wiggle some cables from this side. Front one is removed when you remove the front glass panel, just 2 screws in the back, in the front panel, and away the glass goes. Same goes for the front mesh panel. The side mesh panel has screws in the front, back and one under the case. After that you can see that it can be removed, but there are small holes here, hardly anything can be done from this side regarding the cable organizing. But hey, at least you can remove them and clean them. All in all, this case nails the sweet spot of the sub $100 category, which might be appealing to many gamers out there. Design of the case is awesome. I agree that it looks a lot like a mix of Lian Li and NZXT. Let's say it's their love child. There could be some improvements, especially with the USB-C port having the correct cutout, as this one now just breaks the overall impression of a well-rounded case. It offers a unique look with 2 glass panels, which is usually only seen in more expensive models. To achieve this, Montech has carefully considered where to cut corners. For example, the plastic mounting frame for the front glass panel and the use of 3mm thick glass both on the side and front panel. While these details could benefit from some more thickness, none of them are deal breakers considering the price point and feature list of this case. So once again, all in all, it's a well-rounded product that has the looks and the performance under its belt. Sub to the channel guys if you enjoy my content, like and share this video, and I'll see you in the next one.